Okay, glad that's over. Persuasive speeches are particularly difficult. Any speech in general is really nerve-wracking because of public audiences and other things like that, but persuasive speeches in specific are quite a challenge because they not only require you to change people's minds, but a lot of times they have controversy in them. So, given the fact that I just finished my persuasive speech, I just want to share some of my feelings about it, some of the strengths and weaknesses that I saw in it, also some goals that I am getting out of it, and then just what I'd rate myself. So before the speech, I was pretty nervous because in practicing I was really pushing the time limit with all the information that I had. So I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. During the speech, I was still nervous for the same reason, but also the fact that I chose such a controversial topic made me nervous about how I would deliver it. I really wanted to be persuasive, but I wasn't sure how I'd do. And then afterwards, because of that, I just felt pretty unsure about the delivery that I had, and I wasn't very confident about that. So, however, my main strength in the speech, I'd say, was my information. I spent a lot of time researching and making sure that I had the right information, and I had to weed out a lot to choose just the right talking points. For example, I had 3 subpoints for all 3 of my points, and I had to drop it down to 2. Like in my transitional fossils point, I was going to talk about Archaeopteryx, but I didn't, just because I didn't have time. It was just so much information to talk about. Keeping that in mind, though, I think my main weakness was more in my lack of enthusiasm. Even though I had good information, I think it would have been a lot more inspiring and persuasive if I had that enthusiasm toward it, especially since I ended with more of an inspiring ending. I think that would have really been strengthened by more enthusiasm, and that's just something for me to work on across all types of speeches I do. Coming out of this, I'd say my main goals are, first of all, to have more enthusiasm, like I said, but also to get better about remembering visual aids. Like in this speech and previous speeches I've had before, I will forget a slide that I had and not show it, or some other visual aid, when I meant to use that and incorporate it in my speech, which it definitely weakens it. So in the future, hopefully I can remember that, and by practicing that beforehand, then that'll not happen as often. But I'd say overall I would just rate myself an A-, B+, because I think I followed a really logical organizational pattern, which I think the good information that I found really lent itself to that, and I was able to connect everything really well. However, I think I could have had a more confident and sincere demeanor throughout the speech and made it just more engaging to the audience. So overall I learned a lot from the persuasive speech, and hopefully in the future I can apply those things that I learned to any other speech that I plan on doing.